Alright, and welcome back to the darkest dungeon. It is the darkest dungeon that ever existed. No, in all seriousness, I'm in a good mood today, and we are going to raid the dungeon. We have killed half of the bosses from the second tier, so we are at the medium tier at the moment in the game. And I wanted to take some time to really take a look at the city, because we haven't had much time, or I've actually done all of the city upgrading behind the scenes. So far in the game, around week number 35, we have the blacksmith almost fully upgraded. I'm currently waiting to upgrade the armor smith, and then we would have weapon and armor level 5. And we would want to upgrade the furnace as well. This is like cost reduction. So with that, even the highest level of our adventurers would be fully upgraded. Secondly, we have the guild fully upgraded, and it's just a matter of time to get this training regiment, which again is just a reduction in training cost, to also get them installed. So these were the two buildings that I was focusing on mostly. The other buildings are mediocrely upgraded. We have the abbey, we have the sanatorium, pretty much like level 2-ish. The tavern, I'm really seldomly using the tavern because there are other ways to deal with stress. The stagecoach is reasonably well upgraded. I would upgrade like the experienced recruits even more, but so far that hasn't worked out. Nevertheless, I mean, we do have even a bunch of low-level guys here, which we are going to keep for now. I do have a plan with them. So stagecoach will happen a bit later. Last but not least, the survivalist. I mean, yeah, we will need to upgrade this once I have enough crests on top of it. I have not bought anything from here, although some of the items are okay from time to time. I've never even bothered to start upgrading it. This is kind of really, really late in the game when you need it. Yeah. The other things that are happening later in the game are the districts. As you can see, we have already 5 schematas, so we can build 5 of these wonderful buildings, and they have pretty unique abilities. We'll go through them once we explore this together, because I don't know that part of the game either. But if you look at the stiff cost of between 100 and 200, wow, what the fuck, 200 heirlooms, that's a lot. 300 crests, yeah. That's not going to happen too fast. We're forced to have a couple of runs, guys, before this is going to happen. But anyways, I mean, their side effects are really good. For instance, 5% interest per week on the gold. That's a lot. I mean, that would be 7,500 gold every week from the gold that we have accumulated, and we will get even more gold. So, yeah, pretty good. We do have our level 4 party, which is about to become level 5. It's the party with the jester that we were running since a couple of runs, and we are going to fight against the siren for a nice little vessel upgrade. It's a medium dungeon, which means we're going to start with our usual routine. And since we're going into the cove, medical herbs for negative quirk reduction help. Everything else really stays the same. We're simply going to enter and we'll focus down the siren. The main problem with the siren is she will have a lot of hit points, and the party that we're running is not the highest DPS party ever.
The pact struck. My newfound accomplices slipped silently beneath the brackish water. A fearful stirring at the edge of the torchlight betrayed a familiar witness, and gifted me with malign inspiration.
There we go. We just arrived in the dungeon.
The unfortunate little whiff.
She will be right here, so we waste no time. We take the shortest possible path. We do not have holy water, so let's not even bother to do it.
Another misfortune.
There we go, first battle. Oh, gosh, he resisted the stun. How unfortunate. I was shortly thinking about just killing this guy. Let's go and slice the big guy up. After the second shot, stealth monster, let's explain the stealth mechanic real quick because I have never taken the time to do that. So some of the monsters that you see will be blurred out, almost like ghostly uh, visages. And they are basically stealth. Stealth means for the first 2 rounds in a combat, they cannot be targeted unless you have special stealth targeting abilities, and they can attack you but cannot be targeted. There are 2 exceptions to the rule. Exception number 1, any form of AoE attack still fully hits the target. So if you do have an AoE attack that is also directed towards the target, although it's stealth, it would be fully hit. Second exception is random shots can target them as well, and specific abilities that would get rid of stealth can do that as well. At the beginning, I was, a little bit caught off guard by the stealth mechanic, but in the meantime, I have learned to deal with it. It sucks having someone back here who is a stealther. That there is no question that is suboptimal, but in most of the cases, you're not even going to find that that's a problem. Yes, we will get two times the stress debuff, but quite frankly, for the amount of stealth monsters, it's not worth to load stealth skills. At least that's so far my experience with this new mechanic. You can always use AoE attacks, like this one here, for instance, directly hits him. And after the second stress wave, he's anyways out of stealth, so basically he hasn't done a lot this time. The barriers work similarly. Once once you have a barrier up, you can use AoE skills in order to still hit this guy. Elsewise, you're always hitting the guard and not the guarded one. Stuns can be broken by effectively using any form of stun. Not stuns can be broken, and guards can be broken by using stun. Now that he's stunned, he can no longer guard him, and we have free reign.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Yeah, this guy has 75 protection, so he's taking only 1/4 of the actual damage. We will need to buff ourselves before we go into the last combat, because it feels our damage per round is still too low.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
An occultist plus 15% damage. If there wouldn't be any stress on it, it would actually be a pretty decent target.
wealth beyond measure, awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
It's a pretty long way until the siren. I just figured the dungeon design, specifically like the circular design, takes a longer turn than you would expect. I mean, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rooms. So we're trying to deal with the sea crasher first. I can already... we try to stun him first and kill the others. I can already see how that massive crab is going to get on my nerves. Luckily, we can stun it. We do have one pair of bandages, so we could cure a really, really hardcore bleeding.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
I can already see, yep, there we go, 8 points of damage per round. Nice.
A momentary abatement.
Time for some immediate stunning right afterwards. This damage is just abnormal. He just received 24 points of damage, and that was a normal hit.
There's no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
Okay, I think we'll keep the bandage for now. I'm more willing to get rid of the torch. Well, the loot takes priority. I'm sorry.
Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles.
We will need the shovel. There is one more obstacle. Okay, let's go. I start, by the way, to kill the white mouths first. Personally, I dislike their huge amount of damage that they bring to the table. So, see, you can even make an argumentation to kill them prior to going for stress monsters. When they crit up to 25 points of damage, and I think that's just a lot. That was a mistake. You shouldn't have given the snake above. Perfect. This guy's dead. There we go. Time to get rid of the bandages, because 1000 gold is an attractive offer to drop a bandage. That's a messy group, by the way. Having both the little snail and another tank. Yeah, and then they shield one another. Wow. Well, luckily we do have a good target, which is the stress, the oracle back here. Very good. Fighting against the two tanks should merely be a matter of rounds until we kill them. This guy here needs just a little bit more damage and then he will die. Snail is definitely dead. This guy is dead now as well. Yeah, bleeding damage is wonderful, specifically against high prot targets. Alright. I am considering getting rid of the blood. But 4 blood is really a huge stack. I might as well just hold on to it and instead get rid of a couple of Kresk. Nice, pretty good loot. I like it. That frees up yet another inventory space. Finally, we get rid of the shovel. Yeah, we need to do something against the crab. Since the ethereal punches stack up, we're now at 16 damage per round. That's an enormous amount. And he keeps resisting our stun. Oh my god. There we go, death door, right away. Luckily for us, the group heal can be done wherever. We won't get him away from death door for now. He just takes too much damage. And yep, there we go again. Gosh, I hate this ethereal strike. Specifically when it stacks up. Because there's only so much you can do against it. Well, that was interesting. Wow. So, how are we going to salvage that situation? I think we're going to rest for a night. Can't really do much about us being overloaded, so might as well close it and yep.
The true test. Hold fast or expire.
And there we go. Slow eating. Let's hope that there's no enemy in the room. Oh, perfect. Wonderful. Immediate camping.
A moment of respite. A chance to steel oneself against the coming horrors.
The cool part about her prevents nighttime ambushes is if more mortality debuff, which he has, it says heals 50% of the health. And that was, I think, a critical heal. Not bad, not bad. Bleeding Blight, that could remove his bleed. But we also need to make sure that we're ready for the final battle. And one thing that I'd like to do is getting some buffs going. Plus 10 damage for everyone and plus 5% crit chance on top of that. Sounds amazing. I like the self-only buff of her as well. Yeah, we're going with damage buff for everyone and self-only buff for her. Wow, he still has that nasty bleeding effect.
Ambushed by foul invention.
If we cleanse it, we get some loot. I think it doesn't offer food. At the moment, I would be happy about some food, but I don't want to risk another disease or poison.
The match is
We
struck.
simply do not have enough consumables. Bad enough, there is yet another obstacle, so hopefully we find a shovel. Which of course we're not. This would have been our perk remove.
Without tools of iron, you must rely on flesh and indefatigable purpose.
Good, we should heal up fully.
A powerful blow.
This guy's dead. The mortality debuff also sucks because it's a damage decrease and we're already not super good on damage. So the fight against the Siren might be more difficult than expected.
Masterfully executed. The wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden. Impressive.
So let's heal everyone up. One more group heal and we should be fine. There we go. It was a good one.
Precision and power. As victories mount, so too will resistance.
We can't really do anything with the skeleton key, but we might be able to do something with the bandages in the last fight. So that's why I'm keeping them. And yeah, we cannot buff up. This is probably pretty straightforward. Either we are going to die or she is going to. There's really no middle ground in this conflict. Let's kill her. 180 hit points, that's a lot. She has moderate stun resist though. So if we just try to stun her often enough, might as well be a good strategy. Perfect, we resisted her song, and we're going to start with applying bleeding, which I think is our secret weapon in this fight. I am expecting a lot of bleeding damage. Perfect, she's stunned on top of it, that's great. He's losing one turn and starts to bleed again. Good, we're up to 8 damage. Come on, resist again. No! How could you betray us?
A momentary abatement.
As long as he doesn't As long as he doesn't shield her, everything's fine. Good, let's go. We have... Oh shit, I have marked her, but the mark's already gone. She's acting too often, so with that many actions, there is no point in marking her. Might as well just continue to harass her. Really? I wanted to kill this guy and now he's defending him? Oh gosh. Whatever. Yeah, well, very well done. She resists. Perfect. I love it.
Sedated.
All right. So one more down. Let's continue to focus her. So far we are fine. The only thing that annoys me is the stress. Nice. Finally the crits come.
A decisive bubbling.
Really good. We're down to 27. Come on, baby. Let's try to spike her down.
Vigor is restored.
There we go.
Vile queen of the
Wonderful.
She has no place in the sane world.
Good job. We just killed her. First try. Not even... Well, it's always the first try. But not even a close battle. One death door at a fucking random crap. And that was about it. At the end, the steadiness of the party prevailed. Other than creating some stress and getting the guys up to stress level 50, there wasn't really much happening. There's another blueprint, by the way. Perfect.
Or is it merely a trick of the light?
And look at that. We got ourselves a nice little vessel-only scroll. I know the reduction in the stun chance and the -3 speed really sucks, but I like the increase in healing and stress reduction. I mean, both of these abilities are really, really good. And we got Resilient, which is a bad trait. We have bad quirk. Dark Temptation really hurts us. Stress Fast is bad. Light Sensitivity really hurts us. Steady is okay. I would say probably even better than okay, but yeah, and this one here doesn't matter either. So 80 has done a good, has received a good trade. Dark Tower Nexus and Edgar Green Poe hasn't. Both of them, by the way, need to go and get cured. All right, I'll do some town work and we see each other in the next video. So.